If you're still trusting your favorite 1911 or wheel gun as your go-to for home defense or everyday carry, stop what you're doing and watch this. Now, I know it sounds harsh, but here's the truth. Your body has changed, but your firearm hasn't. Those heavy steel frames, those stiff slides, and long double-action trigger pull may have been great 30 years ago, but probably not today. Could be the one thing that fails when you need it the most. So in this video, we're having an honest, respectful conversation about your classic guns and whether they're still the right tool for the job. Let's dive in. Look, I get it. I love my 686 and my 1911. These guns are icons, all steel, proven, historic, reliable. They're part of our identity as shooters, and for many of us, they're the only guns we've ever truly trusted. But this conversation is not about getting rid of them. I'm not saying that. We are not ditching our beloved guns. It's about making sure you can still use them effectively, especially under stress. Now, as you probably guessed, our bodies aren't what they were 15 or 20 years ago. Grip and hand strength absolutely matters when you're racking a stiff slide or handling a heavy trigger pull. And your eyesight, if you can't see that front sight clearly, you obviously can't hit your target. But there are some ways to get around that. But the point is, if you can't see your target or you're having trouble seeing the front sight, that limits your ability to protect your loved ones. And when talking about comfort, a 2 or 2.5 pound full steel 45 on your hip all day can suck. This thing gets heavy. I've taken it hiking. It's not just annoying. It's a reason people leave these at home. Now, if you can't rack the slide, see the sights, or carry it comfortably, it's not protecting your family. It's a paperweight. But the good news is you can adapt to what you already know, love, and trust. There are lighter recoil springs that make the slides easier to rack. For example, my dad had that problem with his Bodyguard 380, so he dropped in a lighter recoil spring. Trigger jobs can smooth out the long double-action trigger pulls, especially on those revolvers. Ergonomic grips can help with fatigue and recoil. These are not factory. I bought these. They're very comfortable. Tritium fiber optic sights can help you reacquire that front sight and help you with target acquisition. You have slide mounted optics are another option. Red dots, hollow sights can bring your aim and target into one focal plane. And you can even switch to a lighter weight 1911 style 9mm. Now these are lighter, they reduce carry fatigue, and you can still use the style of gun that you know and love. These aren't gimmicks, they're smart upgrades that allow you to protect yourself and the ones you love. But sometimes even with the mods, it's time to throw in the towel because the classic designs still are working against you. And that's when it's time to consider other purpose-built tools like the Smith & Wesson Shield EZ or the Ruger Security 380. Slides that don't require vice grips to rack, triggers you don't have to fight, frames that weigh between 1 pound and 1.5 pounds, depending on make and model. This isn't about betraying tradition. It's about staying capable when it matters the most. It's about being the most effective protector you can be. So here's what I recommend. Here's a little homework. Be honest with yourself. The next time you're at the range or at the gun store, can you rack the slide 10 times? How do the sights look? Be honest. Can you see them clearly? Do you really believe you can make a confident shot? Get hands-on at that gun show or store. Feel a 380 or a 1911 9mm or an EZ or another model. Look at the hollow sights, the red dots, the fiber optic sights. That way you're not guessing. You will know what works for you. You can reframe the mission. Your revolver 1911 doesn't have to go anywhere. I use mine for home defense. But I do want to say this. Your everyday carry gun has one job. One. That's to work right now under pressure. And you have to be able to use it right now under pressure. So pick the gun that does that the best, even if it's not the one you carried 20 years ago. Now I want to ask, if you're still carrying a classic like the 1911, and I know a lot of us carry revolvers, what have you done to keep it viable and usable? And if you've switched to something modern, what made you switch? So drop it in the comments so we can help each other out. And if this gave you something to think about and you want more honest, practical content, head to everydaygunowner.com and sign up for our newsletter. We have tips, upgrades, real-world advice, straight to your inbox. No fluff, no BS, no crap. So stay smart, stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.